What's up, YouTube? This is Too Raw for TV. Alright, so before I go forward, I do want to make a correction on something that I said in my other video on Too Raw for Sports. Many of you caught this. I didn't realize I said this, but I said that Jerry Krause drafted Michael Jordan. That is not correct. Sometimes it slips my mind because they came in right after Jordan was drafted. Like, I think that first season, toward the end, maybe it took effect in 85, I think it was. But anyway, it was Rod Thorne. Rod Thorne was the general manager who drafted Michael Jordan. Well, sometimes that slips my mind because I tend to think of the Jordan era. I tend to think of Reinsdorf and Krause. So those of you who caught that, thank you. Because like I said, I want to be accurate. So anyway, the fallout continues with the situation where at this Ring of Honor ceremony that they chose to hold for the 95-96 Bulls team, Bulls fans booed Jerry Krause's widow. But really, you can make an argument they were booing the name of Jerry Krause being mentioned, the image of Jerry Krause. But still, when a white woman cries, and yeah, I'm going there. When a white woman cries, someone has to pay, even Michael Jordan. And when you take that and you combine it with the media, who hates Michael Jordan and uses any opportunity to go after Michael Jordan, that's what they're doing. So an ESPN insider, and I'm reading from a fadeawayworld.net article, NBA insider says Jerry Krause was booed by Bulls fans because Michael Jordan is a bully. So, Tim McMahon blamed Michael Jordan for the poor treatment of Jerry Krause's widow Thelma at the Bulls Ring of Honor ceremony. ESPN insider Tim McMahon said that the only reason that happened was because Michael Jordan is a bully and the fans only booed Krause because everyone knows MJ doesn't like Krause on the Hoop Collective podcast. Here is the audio, I believe.
To the Last Dance.
Well, because Michael Jordan is a bully. He's a petty bully. He's arguably the greatest player of all time, but he's a petty bully, and they followed his lead.
That's right.
Totally.
That's what that was. Because how many of those fans really remember the intricacies of Jerry Krause?
None of them. It was also, it was a very clumsily done thing.
Well,
I would like to think that people booing a dead man is rough regardless, but I would like to think those folks weren't aware at the time they were booing that the man's widow was sitting there.
Yeah, I think the way it was presented on TV, we saw his widow there and we saw her tear up. That wasn't necessarily...
The people in the building were aware. Ugh.
I know they were aware that she was there, but they were booing his face on the scoreboard. They weren't directly booing.
Man, I'm so... First of all, let me ask you something. You know what? Fuck that. I tell you what. I'm going to do a video on my Too Raw Media channel about this. About something that I want to say, but I'm not going to say it on this channel. I'm just going to ask you guys a question on my other platform. Because it just drives me insane about one particular person that's on ESPN. And I'm just wondering, why is this person even qualified to be on ESPN? But anyway, what do you mean most of the people there aren't old enough to know? I'm 43! And I remember the intricacies. What are you talking about? That happened 50 years ago. Jesus Christ. God, man. Why are these people on TV, man? People don't understand how frustrating it is when you see inferior talent talking in positions of authority, in positions that they don't really belong to or belong in. Not from what I could see. How is it that this guy can get on national TV and say that the majority of fans there don't even remember the intricacies? What are you talking about? So everybody in the stands is under 30 years old. Under 35 years old. What are you talking about? So, okay, so some of the younger fans may have been influenced by The Last Dance. Fine. So what? Was anything that Michael said really was untrue? Is it untrue that Jerry Krause's organization wins championships, not players? Is it untrue that Scottie Pippen, even though it was his own fault, but Scottie Pippen was the 122nd highest paid player in 97-98, and it was Pippen and not Jordan who was openly feuding with Krause the last year of the championship run? It was Pippen and Phil Jackson more than Mike. You know why I know? Because I was there. I remember it. What is he talking about? But you know what I'm saying? ESPN has become the MJ hate network. That's what they've become. Even though MJ helped to build ESPN, if anything, in the 80s and 1990s. Just the thanks he gets. Where was this? What were these segments at? Where were these comments and observations when Russell Westbrook's family was being harassed by Staples Center's finest citizens last couple of years? Where were you at when the Laker fans were harassing his family? Where were you guys at? Where were you guys at when Laker fans were harassing Russell Westbrook's family? You guys called them liars. People had nerve. Shannon Sharp had the nerve to call Russell Westbrook's wife a liar. I remember all that stuff. Now it's saying y'all the moral police. Get out of my face.